So we have a bit more information now about the circumstances in which Peter Mandelson has been sacked. As I understand it, the decision to sack Peter Mandelson was made this morning at a meeting between the Prime Minister and the new Foreign Secretary Yvette Cooper in Downing Street behind me. I'm told the Prime Minister had reviewed all the new info published last night. And I've been told that information was not made available to the Prime Minister or his team at the time of the appointment of Lord Mandelson as the US ambassador. I'm also told that the emails that have emerged in that cache leaked to Bloomberg News were not available to Peter Mandelson now or at the time of the appointment, since they are from a long-closed email address. And sources are telling me that a vetting process was followed. As I understand it from some sources in government, Peter Mandelson was trying to fight on. He did that interview with Harry Cole at The Sun in order to put his case out there, if you like, before these emails were published by Bloomberg. But the Prime Minister clear that Peter Mandelson could not carry on, and he has been sacked. And really what I would say, Gareth, is the Prime Minister had no option on this. I've just recorded a podcast, our electoral dysfunction podcast, with Harriet Harman this morning, and she was very clear that the Prime Minister could not let Mandelson stay on, and when he was sacked, she said that he should have resigned ahead of this in the public interest, and Starmer was right to sack him. That is the view of the Parliamentary Labour Party. There was absolute fury yesterday when MPs realised that Peter Mandelson had continued contact and support for Jeffrey Epstein after he had been convicted of sex offences in 2008. And when that detail emerged in those emails, it really was a question of when, not if, he had to go. He could have resigned, but clearly the Prime Minister had decided to sack him. But still, there are so many questions about what was the vetting process, who knew what when, how did Lord Mandelson get put back into government given his historic relationship with Epstein, and also given that he had been forced to leave government twice before in the Blair years. There was a bit of disquiet, different views about whether he should come back into government. Keir Starmer, I imagine, is regretting that decision to have him back as his ambassador. He has tried to act swiftly now and sacked him from the post, but there is undoubtedly huge collateral damage now on Keir Starmer, having to let go a key member of his government in 2 weeks in the start of the new term.
Yeah, you mentioned that fury, but from some Labour Party members regarding Mandelson's behaviour in the past. But there'll surely be fury as a result of kind of what he's forced the Prime Minister to have to do now by not resigning himself.
Yeah, I mean, look, there is... This was definitely the view of Harriet Harman when we were recording the podcast, and actually the news broke as we were recording our podcast, and we did a quick reaction section in that podcast. She was really furious that Mandelson hadn't resigned, and her view was the Prime Minister would have been, in her words, in anguish over this. And then she was absolutely clear he had to resign, and that was the view of Labour MPs. And Starmer would have been in really hot water with his party had he not done what he's done today.